Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and in this video I'll show you how to replace the bonnet release on a Ford Cmax Mark II. This particular model is a 2009 model, but it should be a similar process for all the other models of that Mark II. Here we are at the front of the car. As you can see, I got quite lucky. The key failed at stage 1. So if you haven't got a this far, you need to get an air wedge and just pop in the gap and pump it up to give you this amount of space, roughly. All I'm doing is just prying up on a plastic fastener that's in there. You can get quite lucky and pop them out like I did with this one. Just literally get over there and pop it out, and it'll pop out nicely out of the way so you can remove the grill. That's what we're doing. I'll show you a closer look at these fasteners in a minute, and you can do the same on the other side. If your bonnet release failed when the bonnet was completely closed, then use an air wedge like the one that's going to pop up now to give you enough space to get to the fasteners and carry on with the same process I'm doing here. And you pop out relatively easily with a flat bladed screwdriver. If you've got a really flat pry tool, they're slightly better for it, but I didn't have a really flat one, so I use a flat bladed screwdriver. And once you pop them off, they come out nice and loose. You can see I'm trying to show you here, but it's really hard to see. There's not much of a gap, but just enough. You can see that one's up now. And we can move on to removing the bottom clips on the grill. There's two of these normally, which we're just about to see. So here's the bottom clip of the grill, should I say. And yeah, basically just get a screwdriver in there and just pry it up a bit. Just loosen the tab. It's like a little push tab, like that. As you can see, push it down, and you should loosen the grill enough for you to remove it with a gentle tug. Be careful; these are quite brittle. You don't really want to break your grill. Just work it out, and you see in a moment it will pop out just like this, nice and easily. There are some plastic screws holding another piece of plastic on. I've removed all the others, so we've just got to remove this last one quickly. And just unwind it. And this is how you're supposed to remove them. Undo the little screw part in the middle, and then pop out the plastic tab afterwards. So here comes the little plastic screw. And then we'll get our little pry tool in and just pop out this last plastic wedge. There we are. That part is out now. So now we can move on to removing the bonnet release itself. As you can see, it's just stuck in the bonnet at the moment. To get your screwdriver in there and give it a good little twist, and you should be able to remove this first part. Generally just pops out, as you'll see in just a moment. But it takes a bit of, this is the most difficult part of this whole repair, getting the old latch out. As you can see, you'll just slide off a metal cable that is held on by. Just remove that plastic clip. Then it's time to get a pair of pliers or a hammer and just break off some of this plastic around this metal wire. We're trying to get into it a bit deeper so we can actually release the bonnet all the way. Yeah, it takes a little while this job. Just keep breaking away at the plastic until you can get into the part a bit easier. After a little while, I've moved the camera just to give you a better view. You just want to keep breaking off this outer plastic ring, and then it'll just make it easier. Next step, once you get this out, is to get the a flat bladed screwdriver in here. I found it's the easiest tool for this. Just get it in there and you'll pop off a little plastic ring. And with that ring off, it gives you a bit more access to the deeper parts of this door bonnet release, should I say. So once the ring's off, as you can see here, get a screwdriver in and then give it a few gentle taps with a hammer. If you're a bit worried about damaging the bonnet and you're not very steady, use a rubber mallet. You don't want to damage the bonnet at all. Here I come with the screwdriver in rough the right place, just down the side of the plastic thing. I'm not sure what do you call it, bonnet release, and just give it a few gentle taps with a hammer, being careful not to hit the bonnet, or yourself for that matter. And just keep tapping away at it, and it'll break, and then get your screwdriver and then give it a quick twist, and that helps release it. I'll change the angle in a moment so you can actually see what I'm doing a bit better. The trick is to keep breaking away plastic parts until you get in to this stage, and then get your screwdriver in there a bit more, and we can pop out this plastic bit with the wire on it. Once we get this out, we're nearly there. And it's quite hard to explain. It's really more of a feel job. You just feel it and work the plastic in the best way, because it can break in all sorts of different ways. Once you get it in there, you'll get it popped out, and you'll see a little plastic cross in the back there. We need to remove this next, so with a pair of pliers to get a good grip on it, and we'll pop it out. And this is the last bit we need to remove before we can actually open the bonnet properly. So yeah, so you get the pliers on there and pull it out. They are quite stiff and it'll pop out. This is the main part that breaks. But yeah, once we're in there, we can put a screwdriver in there and just twist it clockwise, and that will open the bonnet release, so we can actually get the bonnet open. As you can see here, the bonnet's now open. So we'll go up the top side now and have a look at it. Now we're open, we've got two 10mm fasteners to remove, which I'll do in a second. Yeah, now we're going to move on to these two 10mm, just break them loose. I find it easy to break them both loose to start off with. And then we can move on to removing them completely. So break this one loose, and then we'll break the other side loose. Yeah, once you break it loose, it's a matter of removing them. I'll speed things up a bit here, but yeah, you just whip them out, run them out nice and easily. You can also use this video as a guide to replacing your bonnet lock, but I'm not going to replace this one because it works perfectly fine. And once you run it down, and so remove it, just a simple matter of pulling the bonnet lock off. It come off fairly easy. I'll hold on by one little tab, but you just wiggle it and it'll pop out. And now this is the last bit of the old bonnet release, just there. As you can see, it's quite battered from the experience. But here's the new bonnet release. It comes with some new keys. You can re-key some of these, but I didn't bother with this one. But yeah, these are the parts you need. We're going to pop the grill back on because this makes it much easier when you're installing the bonnet latch and all the goodies there. So just pop it back on how you removed it. Get it in the right place. And now here's a closer look at those plastic screws I promised earlier. So you pop the thing in, all you have to do is pry them up with a screwdriver and they pop out. They can be quite tough, but they're quite easy to remove. But to put them back in, you just pop the plastic bit in the bottom and then you just tighten them down nice and easily with a screwdriver. And yeah, the same for the other side. Just pop the tab in and then you pop the screw in and give it tighten down. That'll hold the grill mostly secure. Yeah, just run through it and get it nice and done. Once it's tightened down, we'll move on to the next step. So here's just a quick look at everything in the right place. Make sure it's all lined up. There are the screws again, like exactly we pried out earlier. And the same on this side as well. Just got the screwdriver in there and popped it out. And then here's the new bonnet release. Make sure you get it in the right orientation, otherwise you won't be able to fit the lock properly. So you've got to be in this orientation and make sure it stays in there, because once it's in the bonnet lock, you can't actually move it or twist it. But once it's in there, just pop it through and then pop the two 10mm back in. So we'll run these down quickly. Goes relatively quickly, especially when you speed forward. In all of this whole job took me about half an hour to complete. But yeah, once you do that, now it's time to fit the new bonnet lock. Or bonnet release, should I say. So just slide it in, and there's two little tabs either side, and you want to make sure that it fits in there nice and snug. It's quite hard to film this, but once you get in there, you see the little tabs on either side. And that'll just get in there nice and easily. And then you can see it's now back in the right place. Now I'll come back at the top, and we'll connect the front bonnet release to the main bonnet lock, should I say. And this is just a matter of pushing it in. This is why you need to make sure it's in the right orientation, so it fits on there like that, nice and easily. And now we're going to test it, so use a flat bladed screwdriver before we set the bonnet. And just lock it down, and then get the key in there. It comes with two keys, this new one. And then twist it the other way, as you would normally to open it. You can see it works all nice and fine. Now I'm going to test it with the bonnet itself, so just close it down. Very well, and then open up the new bonnet catch. Pop the key in, give it a twist, it pops up. And then twist it the other way, and the bonnet will come up. And the last thing to do is install the plastic shield on the top. Just pop it back in place. Make sure it all lines up. And yeah, just get it lined up, and then we've got to pop the plastic screws back in. So they're going relatively easily. I'm only going to do one here, but you can do the others yourself. And that's how you change the bonnet release on a Mark II Ford Cmax. If you found this video helpful, drop a like and consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like? Any questions or feedback, let me know in the comments. I normally drop 2 videos a week, so if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, you should, and then you'll never miss another video. Do you know anyone else who would enjoy watching this video? Then feel free to share it with them. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a sensational day.